partners, and we're taking an opportunity as we roll into 2019 to give you guys some updates on some focus areas we thought were important as we start the year. I'm super excited. My name is Janine Edwards, by the way. I am in charge of channel marketing and engaging with partners here at StorageCraft, and I'm joined by Bill Hansen, our product manager, who is specifically focused on our cloud services offering. Hi, Bill. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
Yep,
Bill
hey,
might be on
glad
mute.
to be here.
And we also have Lee Bender. Lee Bender, who's our Senior Director of Training Education. Always fun to have Lee join us as well. So, hey, Lee, what's going on?
Hey, thanks, Janine. Glad to be here.
So what we wanted to do, guys, and again, first and foremost, Happy New Year, and thank you so much for the partnership, and thank you for continued partnership as we head into 2019. We wanted to do a couple of things. What we've noticed over the past few months is we have a little bit of a disconnect on our end. Apologies in advance. We're going to talk a little bit about that, about the sort of the implementation of our new Partner Zone partner portal with some of our managed services customers who are need some clarification on what the difference is between that and our licensing portal. So we're going to give you some quick tips and tricks and engage, really empower you to engage the Partner Zone, because we're super excited about what we're doing with that in 2019, and give you some heads up there. I've asked Bill to join us because, again, as we head into the year and we look at trying to find ways to drive a higher per seat price, engage our customers with best-in-class technology, and really give them the protection that and for data management and data protection that they deserve and require as a business, we wanted to make sure that you guys were all aware of the cloud services offering and our cloud-based or overall cloud-based offerings, specifically cloud services, and how that can bring value to your customers, and some of the changes that we've made from a feature set and pricing set perspective over the past few months. So Bill's going to take us into that. And then, if you haven't heard, recently in December, we jumped platforms to a much more UI-friendly, streamlined experience platform for our academy as well. So Lee's going to take us through that. We wanted to make sure that you guys are all aware of the investments and commitments that we're continuously making for partners. And we're happy to address questions throughout. A couple of housekeeping items. This will be recorded and on the portal. And if you do have questions, you can pop them into the question poll. We will try to get to them via text or as we're going through the broadcast. If not, if a question that we think is kind of interesting to bring to the group, we'll bring that up as well. So let's get started. First and foremost, as you probably you may or may not be aware, over the course of the past 6 to 12 months, we've really been in innovation mode, and on our last partner broadcast, we previewed some of the new innovation that we're bringing to the table for partners. And our goal in life is to really allow you guys to take advantage of this ever-growing, evergreen data protection and data management market. And no matter what customer you're looking to serve today or in the future, and what the complexity in their environment looks like, you're able to really standardize on StorageCraft and take a look at what we have to offer as it relates to that right fit for that customer, and bring them a solution that allows you to focus on one choice of business continuity vendor. So with that being said, when we did that innovation, as you may recall, in our last partner broadcast, we talked about our launch of our new partner program, which is our Partner Success Program. And when we take and stand up a bunch of different products, right, that cover such a large gamut across the business continuity category, we also have to go back into our program and say, how do we refresh that program to make sure we're addressing the different kinds of benefits and incentives that are specific for all those different products, as well as specific to you as partners, right, in your business model. So the Partner Success Program launched late last year. And our goal in that was to make sure it was simple, flexible, and inclusive, right? So no matter who you are, right, what you guys are doing for your customers, you have the ability to know how you benefit and where you benefit as it relates to your business model within our program. So that was a lot of work that we did to make sure that we were addressing you as a partner and the different partner business models, as well as different products that we sell. And as a recap, the sort of overarching benefits that we updated in incentives was for the partners that are product-centric, professional services-centric, there was a deal reg discount up front for our hardware products, right? We had spiff opportunities that we added. For that, we have sales drivers that relates to leads, customer satisfaction. We added a quarterly rebate for our higher tier partners, right? In addition to the upfront discounts, we added a new certified engineer T3 support line, and we also sent you your certification number, so you have the ability to get right to a T3 specific engineer based on your level with the program. So a lot of great things, and if you have some questions about what is included in the different product sets as far as incentives and benefits, there is a program matrix on Partner Zone, which we're going to kind of walk through real quick. So again, Partner Zone, huge investment. If you recall, we switched platforms. So we jumped onto the Salesforce platform, which gave us a much more streamlined UI, but more importantly, the ability to be agile and build on top of that platform and bringing you content, et cetera, over the course of time. And it also allowed us to implement single sign-on through Okta and an additional layer of security, which was really important because we want to make sure that your data for your customers has that extra layer of protection, and wanted to make sure that we were driving forward best-in-class security measures for accessing our portal. However, we had a little bit of admittedly, a little bit of a disconnect, a little bit of confusion, right? Because our MSP partners, if you're on the line, also access a dedicated portal for MSP licensing, right? So there was some confusion on our part on how to sort of explain to you the difference between the two. We weren't able to yet consolidate those platforms. So what we did do is we created single sign-on for accessing the licensing portal within Partner Zone. But then some people were confused as to, oh, wait, is this the new portal? So they are two separate platforms, but they are accessible very easily, right? So we wanted to make sure and clear up that communication. And if you have not yet accessed Partner Zone, the best way to get started is to head to StorageCraft.com. I almost said ConnectWise.com, Lee. Did you hear that? Isn't that crazy? StorageCraft.com and go to Partners. And as you drop down, you'll see something that says Partner Logins. And when you hit that, what happens is you'll get into the ability to see the different logins. And there you'll see the two different indications of MSP license management and Partner Zone. Now, the MSP license management is housed within Partner Zone, but you can still get to it directly. So Partner Zone is the portal for all things StorageCraft, right? And the MSP license management is the MSP portal. Wanted to clear that up, right? But as you head into, and what's going to happen is, if you hit Partner Zone and you haven't yet had the opportunity to jump into Partner Zone, what you're going to want to do if you haven't received your credentials or have lost your password or username based on our previous communications is you're just going to hit forget password or forgot password, forgot username. Those will be resent to you. And if you have further challenges, which some of our partners have had, we encourage you to reach out to your CAM, your channel account manager. Those guys know exactly where to guide you to get you straight. So we really wanted to take a second again, alleviate the disconnect and confusion around the two quote portals, right? Our Partner Zone portal is our everything partner, StorageCraft partner portal, and our MSP licensing management is our MSP portal. And as you head into the portal, right, you're going to see this top navigation pane. And again, you'll see there's also a dedicated place for MSP licenses. So if you're in the portal, you're able to jump to the MSP portal very quickly, MSP licensing portal right there. So you can access the MSP portal via Partner Zone. One thing we also wanted to make sure, we've had some feedback and some interesting thoughts and questions on the profile piece of Partner Zone. And again, we have a lot of different kinds and types of partners, right, engaging with us, right? So especially with the implementation and introduction of our new product suites of OneSafe, right? And what we needed to do is make sure that we know you, right? We know who we're talking to. And what this does is we really tried to make it really 7 quick questions, which allows us to bring you product updates, right? Product, incentive updates, promotion updates, based on you and what you do as a partner and where you make money, right? Which then determines for us probably what you're selling, right? And what you're interested in and what value propositions and what 2-partner versus 3-partner material you're interested in hearing about. So take the time. It's not forced. It does pop up. You can relax it, right, till the next time you come in. But take 3 to 5 minutes, answer this for us, and that's going to allow us to really have a much stronger, more relevant relationship with you. Okay? And that's in the right-hand side. If it doesn't pop up immediately, it's right there at the top under Profile, so take some time. One thing we wanted to make sure everyone was super aware of, because this is a super cool feature, is the ability to log a support case right from Partner Zone, right? There's a support tab. You click down, you can either log the case right from there or actually access our knowledge base. Our knowledge base has been extremely updated with the search capabilities, right? With this new platform, and we're really excited about it. We want to make sure you're able to find it and utilize it. So you can see here, very easy to log a case. Just hit Request Help, fill out the case information, the case form, and then once you hit Articles and Discussions, you're brought to a knowledge base. And you can see here that in this sample I wrote, how do I deactivate a perpetual key, right? And right away, all the stuff that's specific to that knowledge base, that question comes up, and right at the very end, the first one is the article on how to do that in the knowledge base, on how to do it. We have a team of folks that are constantly putting really super great stuff on this knowledge base, videos, articles, all the time. So take advantage of it, utilize it. It's using a very savvy search engine. Okay, and last but not least, certainly, again, folks are saying, okay, where do I find sort of the content that helps me sell StorageCraft, understand the StorageCraft offerings, etc. As you head in to the portal, up at the top, there's a tab called Content. And you pop in there, and you're going to find sort of our library, our consolidated topics of the different content that's available within that tab. And you're going to find the product literature very easily, webinars that we've hosted with, for you, by us, as well with partners. We've added a Best Practices tab. In there, you're going to find some interesting stuff that we've been doing with True Methods, right, for our managed service partners, as well as with service leadership, which is, specific for our product-centric partners. And you're going to find your price list, your videos, etc. in there. And this is where we're really spending 2019 to expand. So you can expect to see some really cool stuff coming out. As a matter of fact, I have 2 pieces of through partner pieces that I'm putting up there in the next week or 2. They're specific to helping you sell the idea of understanding how important data management is to your customers, an infographic as well as a white paper that you'll be able to co-brand, there'll be information for you to put your logo, your partner information, and utilize that into selling and marketing to your customers. So it's brand new material. We're almost finished with it, and that should be up in the next couple of weeks. So this is an area we're really focused on. And again, it's a very agile, scalable platform that's built on the Salesforce.com community, and it's our goal in 2019 to bring you the most robust information that will help you solidify the importance for your customer of this particular category. And so with that, I'm going to switch gears a little bit and throw it over to Bill Hansen. I love it when we are able to have a product manager on with us. These are the guys that are the brains and working hard with the innovation team to make sure that we're bringing you a solution that has feature sets that are world-class, as well as allow you to bring to your customers a really differentiated set of products. So again, if we take a look at sort of all the products that we're bringing to partners today that allow you to say, I have one trusted vendor in business continuity, we feel really strongly about the ability to standardize. Whether you're a managed service provider, standardization has an important impact on your service delivery, and if you're a product-centric or professional services solution provider, standardization is so impactful on your line card, right? Because then you're able to cross-sell and upsell effectively and really have subject matter experts to drive that margin. So what we want to do for a couple minutes is just focus specifically on our cloud-based solutions, right? Because obviously that 1, 2, 3 sort of punch as it relates to data management and data recovery is so important to have a cloud backup of your customers' data. And it's sometimes tough to really drive that home for the customer. So we wanted to spend some time in sort of sharing with you some of the feature sets updates, as well as pricing updates, and how our cloud services offering is different for you as a partner to say someone like Amazon, right? Or the importance of it for your customers to understand the addition of a cloud backup in what they're sort of paying you monthly to do. So take it away, Bill.
All right. Well, thanks, Janine. I appreciate it. Glad to be with all of you and be able to talk a little bit about these products, just as Janine said. Our cloud products, you know, they're very powerful in what they can do, and obviously want to help you to add value to what you're providing to your customers and clients. And so I'll go in a little bit of the detail of the product itself, and as Janine said, focus on some of the updates and things that we've done fairly recently, and then some pricing, and as she said, how do we compare? So with that, just starting with cloud services, which is really our disaster recovery as a service solution. What we did is we built cloud services with all of that in mind. We wanted to be that DR solution. And so it's truly purpose-built just for that. And because of that, we get a lot of efficiencies and benefits and can provide a great service for disaster recovery. And that, again, business continuity. And that helps you to protect your clients' data on-prem, their business, you know, the things that keep their businesses running. You're able to protect that and have that backup copy offsite in cloud storage and cloud solution. Let's see, Janine, go on. So I want to get in just high level, what does cloud services include? I know that our naming is pretty generic, so what is it exactly? It's really, as I said, disaster recovery solution, and we give you some very simple, basic, flexible solutions to choose from. So there's the simple backup approach, which is, hey, I just want an offsite copy of my images, and it's all based upon Shadow Protect and being able to use that, or even our Shadow Safe, newer Shadow Safe product. Those images can now be backed off offsite, and so it's remote, and you've got that simple backup. If you need something a little more, you want it offsite, but then you want to be able to get a file or a folder, that recovery, we're able to mount and get you those things very quickly. You can do all that through our portal. And then the full premium product is virtualize entire machines, or even your client's entire network up in our cloud. So with one click, they can now have all their machines virtualized, all the networking set up with the right IP addresses and public, private, even static for that network. And their business can keep on running in the event of a natural disaster or some human-caused disaster at their site. Again, very flexible. So you choose the level that you need. The web-based console, again, that MSP portal is really powerful, where you can go in and manage your licenses, but that's also where you manage your cloud services machines. So you can virtualize, you can set up your settings, you can get that recovery, request a seed drive because you want to seed, you don't want to upload over the internet, you want to seed it on a drive or maybe restore on a drive. All that's manageable in our web console. And as it says there on the site, you have total control. We really pride ourselves in giving you the ability to do things on your own and be independent. You don't have to call us every time you need to change something. You have total control. And again, self-service, so you can take care of those things. We're here and you have support, you know, we're here to help. But again, we've empowered you to do what you want to do and not be dependent on us. Now, all of this is, of course, built on in data centers that are very secure and very robust, redundancy. We want to make this extremely powerful, so we've created it that way. So we have military-grade security, both in the images themselves, you know, they're encrypted. The data is encrypted as it travels to our data center, and even in our data center, it remains encrypted at rest. So that data is truly protected. We have no way to get at your data, not that we ever need to. Your client's data is totally secure and again, protected by the passwords and encryption keys that they set up or you set up for them. And it's all done in these Tier 3 plus data centers, because we have Tier 4 and Tier 3 with 5 nines of uptime and availability. And then we have a network operations center that's watching that 24/7 to ensure that things are working as they should and be able to help and notice if anything goes on, that we can jump right on it and help a customer if needed. So one thing I'll mention about that makes us very similar to others out there, a little pop quiz here even, is what do Apple, Microsoft, Google, PayPal, Pure Storage, large national and global banks, and StorageCraft have in common? Kind of an interesting question, as not everyone associates our name with those same names right there. But the answer is
I bet I know the answer, Bill. I bet I know it. Yeah. Is that we all use the same data center? Is that it? Did I get it right?
You nailed it, Janine. That's right. Go ahead. We do. We all use the same data centers. And I throw that in there just to emphasize that these aren't just a bunch of servers we've thrown in some back closet of Bill's basement, right? These are truly in enterprise class data centers around the world. And in the U.S., it's here in Salt Lake City, just south Salt Lake. And we share it with eBay, and Apple has some stuff in there. There's some big banks. It's a very robust and very secure site. It's got the security, the gates, even just to get into the data center in our specific cage in that location takes 5 different spots of security checkpoints. And that's if you're somebody they know. If they don't know you, it takes even longer. So very robust and powerful. Hard to replicate that on your own. Now with that, as the infrastructure we built, it's got storage, compute, and networking, just like you'd imagine. But we use a distributed file system and storage system so that we're able to scale very quickly and efficiently to many, many petabytes of data. We've got over 60 petabytes of raw storage available in our cloud today. And again, we have all the redundancies there to make sure that data, once it gets here, is very robust and protected against any outages or drive failures, those type of things. Now on the compute side, we kind of have the same thing. We've developed a scaled compute cluster so that we can then virtualize anybody's machine who does choose the premium failover and wants to virtualize in our data center. And we even allocate extra resources to those machines, which we do at no cost to you, and therefore, there's not additional cost like other vendors do charge. Every bit of RAM or memory, virtual CPU you use, you get charged for, where we do that at no additional cost. And then lastly, of course, the networking. We utilize that pfSense firewall and all those settings so that you can set up the exact network you need for your clients so that when a disaster occurs, it all gets virtualized up in our cloud the right way so that they can just get up and running very quickly, again, in the event of a disaster. So let's see, Janine, let's move on to the next thing. I just want to repeat again, what are the different service levels? What do we offer for cloud services? So again, there's the basic, which is just that replication of your images offsite, and you can restore those, either download them or we'll put them on a drive and ship them to you. And then there's the Cloud Plus, which adds that capability of immediate file and folder recovery. So you can simply go to our portal and pull out a file or a folder or something you need very quickly. You don't need the entire image or entire machine, and that's with the Cloud Plus. And then when you get to Premium, you get all those things, but then you also get the full virtualization and that failover of your network, your data systems, all that. And even the one-click, our patented one-click policy orchestration that allows you to, at the push of a button, orchestrate all your network or all of the machines in the right order you want and all that networking. Again, click of one button, it's there. And that's very powerful for you to be able to provide that to your clients and be able to have that all set up and that ease of use for them. No.
So this is also like recently we've updated this, right? We've consolidated some of the plans to sort of bring a much more simple way of sort of consuming our various levels of cloud services for what's right for the partner and their customers. Is that right? It's relatively updated.
That's right. Over this past year, we simplified things. We had what was called kind of tiers. We had these service level tiers and things. And they had different recovery points, and you could have a flex option. And we found that was actually causing more complication than was really needed. So we did simplify that down quite a bit. And that way, it really is just basic plus or premium, and they all come with default recovery points. And then, of course, you can customize if you need, and that's just an easy add-on.
Here's an interesting question. I don't know if this is specific to cloud services, so let me know if I'm misinterpreting. Is there a client-level recovery portal, non-MSP, but one layer down to the client if the client wants to recover a simple file?
So the simple answer is yes, there is that capability. So you can create a login or access for your client to log in. And then when you set up their account, you can give them certain capabilities, access to do certain things. And that recovery is one of them. So you could give them, their own login. They get into the portal and they see what you've allowed them to see, basically. And that's one of the things you can enable for them, is the ability to get their own files and things on their own.
Great. Thanks, Bill.
Yep. Yeah, thank you. Great question. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go on to the next thing I want to mention is, again, another thing that we've added this past year that I think is very powerful to enable partners to be able to provide even better services and actually help you on the cost side of things too, and that's pooling. Basically, pooling is a standard feature now to all of our MSPs. Some, we're on that tiering model, and of course, no problem with them staying there, but we've enabled pooling. And pooling, what it is it's done at the MSP level, so that way, across all your different clients, you can pool that storage into these different pools, a pool of basic storage, a pool of Cloud Plus, and a pool of Cloud Premium. So that way, if you had somebody who has lots of little machines and another client has lots of really big machines, all that data is pooled for you as an MSP, service provider, and that way you're not having burden costs on the guy with lots of really big machines, and then on the other, with the small, you can actually utilize that storage. It's a great way to get more efficiencies and, again, balance your costs and provide the solution to your customers. And if you will,
quick question.
Quick question. Yeah.
Yeah, just a really quick question on that. Do you guys, and while we're talking about feature sets and updated feature sets, do we offer automated virtual boot testing in the cloud yet?
That's a great question. We don't actually offer that today, the automated way of doing that. Right now, we do leave that up to you or for you to provide to your clients to go in and do that virtualization test. I will say we do continue to give 30 days of free virtualization, so we understand that's in there. So there's no charge to virtualize in our cloud for up to 30 days, which again is a great value considering others like Amazon or Google and some of these public cloud offerings, they charge for that.
Another question, I think this is specific to pooling. What will happen if there's an overage?
Oh, great question. So I created this slide here in front of you just to help kind of explain that, and I think I can answer that question. I think pooling is pretty straightforward, but it's always good to have a nice visual and some things there. So on the left-hand side, let's assume you've got 5 machines, and you've got 4 really small ones and 1 really big one. Well, previously, we would basically say, hey, this 2 terabyte machine, you've got 1 terabyte per machine that we allocate, and 2 terabytes too much, right? So you get an overage actually it's a 3 terabyte machine in this example, but you get charged for 2 terabytes of overage. And we charge basically 20 cents per gig for overage. By pooling, you now put all those 5 machines capacity together into one big 5 terabyte pool, and now everything fits and there is no overage. So you no longer have those costs to worry about. Now, to the question that was asked, if you did have a whole bunch of machines and for some reason they still are above the amount of the pooled capacity, then there is that same 20 cents per gig overage fee that would be charged.
Oh, I got another great question coming at you. Another great question.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah,
as an MSP, will we be able to offer both pooled and tiered to our clients? I'm not sure I understand the question, but maybe you do. I don't know.
I do. I get it. And especially if you've been on a tiered model for some time, the question is, can I keep doing that and do pooling? And the simple answer is no. And I say that in a single account, we kind of, one of the requirements is, hey, we move all the pooling or you stay all on the tiered model. That being said, if you had multiple MSP accounts, I guess we could handle, both ways. But really, the idea is to keep it all consistent and get that benefit from pooling across your entire client set, and all that capacity pools together. So the simple answer is no. We want it's set up such that you need to be one or the other.
Okay, one more question, and I think I know the answer. Pooling is across the entire MSP account, not just customer specific. So the pooling is for the MSP to use for all of their customers, right? Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
So the more customers you add, the more capacity you have to spread across everything.
Great.
Yep. Yeah. Again, those are some new things we've added and want to make sure people were aware of. Coming back to our licensing models, we have kind of the standard service provider model, which hopefully you're familiar with. But basically, it's a per machine pricing per month, and it's 1 terabyte of capacity per machine. And again, it's pooled depending on the service level, and the 30 days of virtualization is included, as well as if there's a disaster, you need a BMR, you've got a real failover, that you need to do. We'll expedite those things, and all that shipping and stuff's all included in that. So that's a standard model, and it's kind of in the arrears, meaning you use it, and then based upon your usage or needs, then you get billed at the end of the month. I'm not
great.
sure
There's a great Sorry, just a real quick question, because I'm not sure. Someone wants to know, and I also want to know, how often is the backup being made on a daily basis? Is it nightly? Is it more than?
So when you say backup, let's say this. So during the day, Image Manager, who's running at, or ShadowSafe running at your site or your client site, is looking at the different settings you've set up for your backup policy. Are you doing every 15 minutes? Are you have things scheduled every hour? But I'd say 90% or more of everyone we have, when it comes to the cloud piece of it, they are consolidating the daily changes that happen across the day and send it once every day. So it's actually at nighttime. It sends that incremental change to whatever your base image is up to our cloud. And then we retain different recovery points depending upon, upon that policy. Multiple daily recovery points, or maybe weeklies or monthlies, or even up with yearlies. So it kind of depends a little bit upon your backup policy you set up with Image Manager.
Great.
Yeah, good question. Let's see. I wanted to mention it here again. I don't think it applies so much to this group, but we do have a end user model, prepay model, where you can buy a whole year of a block of storage for cloud services, and it's basically a big pooled block. And if that's something that does apply to you, definitely we can find some more information and share it with you. But I did want to mention that as well. Let's go on to the next one. Just to go on pricing, when things shifted over and we added pooling and did a bunch of things, we kind of reset and changed some pricing a little bit. I want to make sure that people saw that here. This is our MSP pricing, and I've got it here in the bundled pricing, which does include also the license of SPX that goes with it and without. So you got it with and without, and you see it there. So Cloud Basic bundled is $59, Cloud Plus $65, and Cloud Premium $75. And then without, you basically reduce it by about $10 to get to the cloud only. And that's just, again, that SPX license. In terms of recovery points in the cloud, that by default keeps 3 daily recovery points and 2 weekly recovery points up in our cloud. So at any point in time, you've always got those up in the cloud. And generally, that works very well because people have, a higher number of recovery points, more granular on site, and then they've got this up in our cloud. And again, you're not stuck to that. If you want more daily or weeklies or monthlies or even a yearly, you can add that, and we just charge a fee for each one you add on top of that each month. And lastly,
I just wanted to. Sorry, go ahead and hit Cloud Premium, and I'll hit you with my hard question with my toughie. I got a toughie for you.
Your tough one's coming. Well, I just want to mention on Premium, or really there's a mirroring option here in the U.S. where basically you take those prices and we charge about 2/3 more, and we will mirror all your data from one data center to a different one we have. So from the Salt Lake one to our location in Virginia. So that way you can actually have geographic protection as well, which I know some people are requiring now.
So I get this a lot. I get this a lot, and I love to have a debate about it because I think it's really interesting once you really sort of expand the question. When people say, oh, it seems expensive when I could just go to Amazon, right? And you know what I mean? And put my stuff up there, my customer stuff up there for free, right? So I think this is always an interesting conversation to have real quick.
Well, yeah, it's a great question, and let me comment on it. I've heard it a lot too. And by no means is Amazon, I'm putting down Amazon. They've got a great solution. So does GCP, Google Cloud Platform, and some others, Azure. But let's talk about Amazon just because that's an easy one people are familiar with. When you look at their pricing and what they do, it really looks like great cheap storage, that's up in the cloud and protected. And I want to say that they do it very well. And you can put your data up there. But fundamentally, one thing they lack, of course, is all the protection, the retention, the consolidation, all that policy, simple to use, or ease of use that we add through our tools, be it Shadow Protect, our portal, all that stuff enables you to be able to manage things and do things very quickly with you having total control. Whereas in Amazon, it's all manual. It's like throwing your data in a big parking lot. Now you've got to go find it, get it back out, move it, whatever you need to do, virtualize it. That all is manual. You have to do that yourselves. So obviously a different experience. And to the actual cost, if I could mention it, and you could go to their calculator today and just go look at this, but they're roughly on their S3 storage about 2 cents per gig in terms of storage per month. So comparing, our 1 terabyte block to a 1 terabyte there, it'd be about $23 a month to store that up there in Amazon. The piece that most people don't do is the total cost of ownership is looking, well, what does it take to get data out of Amazon? Well, they charge 9 cents per gig. And then if you want to move it around, there's a charge. And on top of that premium, if you want to virtualize, that's a whole other instance, virtual machine you have to spin up at a certain CPU and memory type, and there's different costs for that. So when you look at it that way, not only do we provide all the simplicity, the portal, the ease of use, that it just takes care of it so you don't have to. We have one price, and there's no kind of nickel and dime for every little thing you do. They're all valuable, and I understand why they do it that way. But again, when you look at the total cost of ownership, our pricing is in a really good position, even compared to Amazon.
Yeah, not to mention ease of use, right? I always tell partners, well, you got puts and gets, right, first and foremost at the quote free level, right? And then when you start adding in all the complexity and also the ease of use, right, via the MSP portal, it's actually a really nice return on investment.
Yep, and I think it's really a great value. Again, that's why we feel confident there in our pricing and what we offer. We definitely differentiate and add a lot of ease of use and capabilities that you don't get by default there. Now,
yeah, so we also get a lot of, and I just wanted to kind of tee this up, right? So
sure.
There's so much energy right now being spent around not just cloud backup, but cloud-based backup, right? And so, and a lot of folks are offering, from a vendor perspective, the ability to have, Five and Google, right? But what we wanted to do is talk specifically about our offering, right? Again, because when we look at standardization, not a lot of people are aware that we have cloud backup. We wanted to take a little bit of time, talk about it, and make sure you guys are, again, aware of what you're able to tap into from a business continuity perspective as a one-stop shop for StorageCraft. So that was my soapbox.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I appreciate it, Janine. And I did see another question about just UI updates in our portal and things. And the simple answer is yes, we're always looking to update, and we do plan to make some updates this year that I think you'll enjoy. That'll help and the portal itself. But to the statement you just made, a lot of people are using different services that are up in the cloud already. Office 365, G Suite, even Salesforce, frankly. A lot of this stuff is already hosted in the cloud, and it's growing a lot. The one thing, and focusing on Office 365 in particular, it's growing very fast, and Microsoft does a great job providing that service and that capability. But what people don't realize is that data is not automatically protected the way they think it is. And there's a lot of things that can happen that can cause issues with your data that's sitting in what I'll call a SaaS provided solution. And particularly I'll pick on Office 365 as an example for today, because I think that's one people are very familiar with. But there are some key incidents that can happen that they don't have protection against. And other SaaS providers, same issue. Particularly user errors, you just make a mistake. You delete something you don't realize you have. You come back a month later and it's gone. It's not in the cloud anymore. Malicious insiders, a disgruntled employee, that type of scenario. Hacking or malware, something can come in and destroy your data. Also just simple programmatic errors. You've installed a new package of software, something happened and some data was deleted, you didn't know it. Again, you come back later to get that data, those files, emails, and they're gone. And Microsoft and some of these other SaaS providers, they don't know the difference between a real delete and an accidental delete or a malicious delete. All they know is they got a command to delete data, so they did. It's very important that people realize that although the services are great and very powerful, they need to protect that data just like they would data on site. And Janine, just picking on Microsoft's conditions a little bit, they have some basic protection that's in there. They have a recycle bin that lasts for a certain amount of time. It lasts for about 30 days, and so you can still recover things there, and that's across Office 365. G Suite has similar things, and you can buy different levels of Office 365 that provide different and better protection, but it really is not a full protection and backup or disaster recovery of that information. Example, if they are able to still keep the data or it's still there, getting it back is not a simple process. It can take up to 30 days just to get the data back. So you could be 60 days out and at risk of not getting your data. And they don't even guarantee 100% recoverability of the data. And I like what they say on their own, the documentations, their EULAs that most people don't ever read, right, is with Office, it's your data, you own it, and you control it. And so they're really trying to make sure their solution is robust and is always available. But the data, they need your help really to manage it. And that's where our product comes in, Cloud Backup. We're providing a solution that's just that. It's going to protect that data for you. So that way you can get it regardless of those issues I mentioned.
Awesome.
Yep. So just to summarize, what do? Our Cloud Backup, we protect both G Suite and Office 365. Basically your Exchange, so your email, contacts, calendars, your OneDrive and SharePoint document libraries. We protect that data today, and it's a simple agentless setup so that you basically give your credentials to Office 365 in our portal, and then it'll take 3 backups or 3 scans every day of those different data that you select. It can be just email, or it can be SharePoint, OneDrive, and email. You select what you want. And by mailbox, it will scan and protect anything that's changed, up to 3 times a day. And that way your data is protected. And then we take that data and we actually store it in our AWS account. We have an account there where we store it. Or you could even select, hey, I've already got an Azure account. We want to just use our own Azure, and we can protect it there as well. And then finally, okay, this is great. You've backed up this data. Now how do I get to it? Through that same MSP portal, you can get in and easily protect or manage or get back the data that you need. And that's the basics. Mm-hmm.
That was just so great. I love it when we have product management on the phone, guys. And what we wanted to make sure you were aware of, again, additional opportunities for you to bring things, add things to your portfolio, right? And bring valuable, competitive, differentiated things to your customers and drive margin and profitability while you're doing so. So if you wanted some more information, and I didn't answer your question, I will definitely answer your question via email, via your CAM. If you would like more information on how to deep dive into these solutions a little bit more or add them to your portfolio, make sure you check with your CAM. We're going to switch gears a little bit. We were super excited over the holiday time to have Lee and his team transition us over to a super cool, slick new UI for our Academy. So we just wanted to give you a really quick overview of that.
Hey, thanks, Janine.
Hello. And
hey, I'm back
so
here,
much.
and I'm here, and it's been, I'm coming up on my 9th year here being at the StorageCraft, and, for those that maybe have been with me for that full time, I kind of started with the training group, and I'm back running the training group again, and I'm glad to do so. I put this philosophy phrase up here because it's not that I want you to know as partners what the philosophy is. This is what I share with our sales teams, because I want you to understand that this is a commitment that we make to you in regards to the education, because we really believe that as partners in the way that we can enable you is that we want to give you those skills to be able to let you develop the best solution possible, and that the training is the beginning of all these conversations that you have. And so we try to help to be able to enable that. And that's kind of where I kick my idea of education and training off. And part of that was that when we came into this department, I took this over, I guess it was last December, at the end of last December. And one of the things I wasn't really happy about was with the online system that we had. It needed some work. It needed some things. And so that's where we have. So go ahead to the next slide here and recognize that the Academy has changed. So if you haven't been out to the Academy, there's some new things out there. It's a new version. So we actually use a different learning management system platform, LMS. We were based off an old product, and now we're using a new one that's actually even a local Utah company here. But what we liked about it, because it allowed us to be able to have more direct integration with it. It gave us a new location, new features, things that we've never had before, and opportunities that we've had. So we're really excited about how that can go. You can go on to the next one. Some of the things that came in the solution here, I think is kind of important, is enhanced learning. We can now track a little bit more about what happens in regards to the individual education of a partner as they step through the system. We offer some new language options. We haven't fully implemented this, but we do have some things available. If any of you have been through the new system, you might notice that when you loaded the introductory video, that was the only required education piece that we came in there, was to kind of help teach you about the new system. That actually was available in German, Spanish, Portuguese as subtitles. Eventually, we'll also be able to bring audio language in there, but in the interim, we can bring new language options in regards to subtitles. And because StorageCraft is an international company, I know that we're dealing mostly with the U.S. audience here today, but for those that would watch this recording, it's important for them because we get quite a few requests for people to have things in German, to have things in Portuguese. So it's one of those things that one of the reasons why we picked this new tool. Modernized interfaces, which I'm going to link that with the mobile side of it. The old product was actually built off of kind of a different platform, and that platform wasn't adjusted to today's mobile devices. So we have a lot more modern interfaces using some of the canned HTML tags and tools that are more readily available, may be able to give you a better interface and better view. Testing options, we've added some ways to be able to track knowledge and information, be able to quiz you in the process of the course where we never had that before, but also being able to let you reset and be able to start again. So as you start to go through some of the certification, it lets you be able to bring new ways in which we can help evaluate how you've done in that material. And again, we look at the philosophy of certification and testing is to say that we're not trying to find the difficulties of a course and make that as possible. We're trying to help you realize where maybe there was a lack of information that maybe we can improve upon. So as well as you might learn from an education or a test, we also learn from it too to figure out, well, maybe we can improve the materials in this way or another way, be able to make them better. A couple of things that I really like is that we now be able to address things by program. So as you've seen in the new partner programs, we have certification requirements based on your partner tier. Well, those program tiers now allow us to be able to establish those courses that help build those programs out. So as you will get into the system, and I'll be showing you this in just a minute in some of the screenshots that I've taken, we'll show you how those consolidated programs work. So if you take course 300, which is our StorageCraft Certified Engineer for the Shadow Protect product lines, you can be able to see that and jump right into that program. We have an integrated training calendar. If you can remember, in the old system, you had to bounce into the MSP portal and then try to find the training calendar in that particular location for our instructor-led courses. That's all now within the Academy. So the old system, you did not have an integrated calendar. Now we do. And we also have region-specific topics. So as you come into the partner base, we watch where you come from. We watch what geo you're in. So whether you're in Americas, you're in Asia Pac, you're in EMEA, and sometimes we have specific topics and or tailored content that helps you in your particular territory. Best example of this is in the US, we have specific distribution partners that we work with. They're not the same in Australia, and they're certainly not the same in the UK. So we have some ways in which the training is adapted to those particular territories to be able to help them be able to come up and show that different type of information. And you should expect more of that to occur as it becomes specific to a particular region and or topic for that region. Let's go on to the next slide here. For this, so the next thing I want to show is essentially, well, how do you get there? Well, Janine was already partly here. When you look at the partner zone, you saw that there's that little measure bar at the top there, and there's a training area. The old days, in the old tool, you'd click that online training in, and it would bounce you into the MSP portal, and then that would bounce you into what was the original training platform. Right now the new Academy takes you directly in. And this is the area that really was enhanced, and one of the reasons why we switched to this Okta single sign-on and authentication platform, because we can now link and bring all that directly, and allows us to be able to build a more integrated and unified platform. So as you start to see certain products come online, eventually I'm sure Bill's in discussion with trying to bring some of those things. All this common credentialing will be able to help you to be able to manage all of your StorageCraft products through a common element. Go ahead, next slide. From that, when you get into the system, this is one of the areas that I wanted to show you, that 305 is one of the programs, and it shows a Bright Learning Library in a place at which you can go and click right on, and will bring you right into the ShadowSafe Trainer Education course. Go ahead, next slide. When you click on this course, you actually could go in and show some details. Now you'll see the check marks there, but you could also see your progress, and that circle would change as you go through time and be able to let you know how you progress through a particular topic or subject. A coming feature set, which I'm going to share towards at the end here, is you could watch that for yourself, but eventually, as a manager, you'll be able to watch that for your employees too. Go ahead for the next slide here. Lastly, this is an example of the training calendar and how you can simply just go in and find a course to register. So there's some courses that we offer online. One of them, or some courses we offer online, which is like the Shadow Protect Engineer course, the ShadowSafe Engineer course. Both those courses are offered online. We also offer some of those instructor-led occasionally throughout the department, but because those courses are capable of doing online, we do them. Our Master Engineer course today for Shadow Protect is pretty convoluted and complex, and it's not something that you can easily offer online. We're working on a version to be able to bring it online, but in the interim, we actually also offer it as an instructor-led. And like I was mentioning earlier, the training calendar, it's just really a matter of now that you come into the system from the partner zone, all you have to do is click that register button, and you're brought right into that course. So a couple of things to notice there is the course name, title, and also location. As you can see that as that gets presented throughout the United States, and in Europe and in Australia, as we will make them available. All you do is click register, and you're brought right into that program. So with that, let's go on to the next and kind of show you a couple of things that are coming down the road. Training management. I alluded to this just a minute ago. Training management is a opportunity for you as a partner or a manager of a group of team of your employees to be able to bring them come in. As we start to bring more user management into the partner zone and into the StorageCraft products, you'll be able to see that pop into there. So essentially, when you would log into your academy, your employees will be assigned to you, and you'll be able to view and look at the training. So this is, again, a future thing. Instructor-led online. We are exploring techniques to be able to do the instructor-led course of, say, the Master Engineer course for Shadow Protect, but being able to offer it with a webcam and a series of interfaces that allow us to be able to go through this tool and be able to present to you while letting you sit in your own room. So you can actually get the benefit of an online instructor-led experience, but also be able to do it from the comfort of your own office or whatever location you choose to do it in. Technical courses. We're bringing new technical courses. We have a course that's in development right now for OneSafe. We have another course developed in for the integration of ShadowSafe and how the cloud and how that works, and enhancing the course that Bill just talked about for cloud backup. All those things are new things that are coming out here that we want to make sure that you have the technical need. But we also recognize that it's not just about the technical courses. It's also about trying to enhance your sales. And so we are looking and we're developing courses that have to do with being able to be a better partner, being able to do solution enablement, how to do solution selling. And we're excited about having those come apart and expect to see those sometime during this year. Lastly, we've just made a major investment in a cloud tool that allows us to be able to simulate and run our products in the cloud that give you sandboxes. So we're just starting that project, just to be able to enhance that, and we hope to have that hands-on sandbox for you maybe sometime during this year to give you some opportunities to try things with the product without having to make an investment in time and setup of your own environment to be able to practice or demo any of those products. So how does all this relate to certification? I always want to bring this back to certification because that's the thing that you guys have to do as regards to partners. So again, just to review some of those requirements that are asked in the partner program is to be a certified partner requires you to have a StorageCraft engineer. Today, that course generally is going to be most people for the 300, which is Shadow Protect. But we now have the course 305E, which is the ShadowSafe course. You can take and pass that course, which are both in the academy, and let you be able to become that certified engineer. If you're a premier partner, it just requires 2 people, but the same courses are still required. If you are an elite partner, you need to have a requirement that gets added to this, and that's the master engineer. And today, that's the 410 course, which is the Shadow Protect side, or the course 305, and eventually a cloud a Cloud Course 375 or Cloud Course 390, which is the OneSafe. Let's jump into some more detail about this little aspect of how that passed through in these next 2 slides. So first off, certified engineer. If you want to be a certified engineer, how do you do that? Well, you have to take one of the 2 paths. You could do both if you wish, but only one is required. On the Shadow Protect side, which is the top line there, you enroll in course 300, which is in an academy, or occasionally we offer that instructor-led. We can even do that instructor-led in customer sites, in your partner site. If you have a group of employees that you want to do that, talk to your sales rep, and we can see if that's a possibility for your organization, but we have done that in the past. Once you've taken that course, you'll be prompted to do an exam at the end of that in the academy, or if you do the instructor-led, we'll do the exam right there on site. If you pass it, that's how you get certified. We will post that in your Salesforce account. The same thing is true of the 305 course for the ShadowSafe track. If you go down the ShadowSafe track, it's the same process. You go through it, you take the exam, and you pass it, and you become certified. But the question comes on, okay, well, how do I get master certified in StorageCraft? And I want you to look at master certification not as a benefit or an enhancement to your partner, which it certainly gets you as an elite partner more margin and more opportunity, but also gives you better education. And the idea being that some of the things that we covered in that course are advanced topics such as how to lock down a BDR, how to make sure that you don't let that BDR get hit by ransomware, things that you can do to help protect that. So let's jump to the certification slide, which the master certification slide, and let's just kind of walk through that. 410 for the Shadow Protect track, if you take the top path there, is the course that is required. And in that course, you will cover all kinds of great things, including greater detail about the cloud. One of the best parts about that course is a practicum on it that lets you be able to take your data or data specifically in the course, bring it up to the cloud, scale to that cloud, and actually be able to reconnect client-based devices through a peer-to-peer VPN network that lets you be able to run that and have that be able to see that simulation of what it would be like if you ever had to engage a true disaster. That is a very valuable topic, and a lot of people love that aspect of it. We are bringing those same concepts down to the ShadowSafe side. The bottom side there is under development right now, which is a 375 course in cloud and then a 390 course in OneSafe to be able to let you go through and understand the hardware, the aspects of using that hardware, being able to use that in regards to its replication and disaster recovery topics, and then bringing that in the same kind of avenue that we did with the 410 course to be able to bring those into the cloud concepts. In those 2 cloud courses, we anticipate there'll be an exam for them just like them and a practicum, very much like we do in the 410 course today, and then you would be certified as master engineer under that ShadowSafe track. So we're offering essentially 2 tracks, 2 possible ways to become engineered, become certified, because we recognize that there's a lot of partners that will always want to use our Shadow Protect product, but as time progresses and ShadowSafe becomes more prevalent and more used in the market, we want to be able to offer you a different path and transition to be able to use that product there. So with that, Janine, I guess I can kick it back to you. I'm not sure I have much more than that, and see if anybody's got any questions for us about certification and or the new academy.
Oh, Lee, what a great pleasure to always have you guys both on. Really appreciate you giving everyone an update. We're so excited to see the new platform for the Academy. We want to make sure the partners are all aware of it and are utilizing it and understand sort of the differences and what's coming down the pike once planned. So guys, thank you so much for giving us an hour of your day today. We want to be cognizant of your time. If for some reason we didn't get to your questions, Cam will reach out definitely to answer them. And if you would like to have more information on cloud services or cloud backup, head over to your Cam. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, partners. We're so happy to have you as partners, and we hope 2019 is a great year for revenue and profitability, and we hope to be working together a lot more. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.